Hi guys, today I'll be talking about what is a system, but more specifically is I'm gonna talk about a system analysis of a coffee machine. But first of all, we have to understand what is a system. A system is a set of objects, elements that interrelate to form whole. Uh, a system it could be a closed system or an open system. A closed system is the one that do not interchange with its environment. An open system is the one that receives matter and energy for its environment. For example, an open system it could be the humans, because for example, in our interactive teams, we tend to be an open system because we have to talk and we have to interchange matter and receives for the others to have more to to form a whole. For example, in this the whole it would be our project, and that is an open system. Um, a system consists of four things. First of all, objects or parts, element of members of the system. Second one, consists of attributes. And the third one, internal relationships among its objects. And finally, an environment they are affected by their surroundings. A system is a very complex thing. It could be very abstract. When we talk about systems, but the final goal of a system is to achieve a goal or a final product, for saying like that. Um, for example, in the system analysis of a coffee machine, we have an inputs, outputs, and a feedback, and that would be a system for for um for those elements. Okay, let's start it. Introduction to the coffee machine system. Okay, the coffee machine is a system designed to brew coffee using specific inputs and outputs. We will analyze how it works by looking at inputs, what it requires to operate, outputs, what it produces, and feedback, how it achieves based on its operation. Like I was saying, in a system, it's really important to recognize input, outputs, and feedback. First of all, we have to understand what is an input, what is an output, and what is a feedback. Okay, input. The definition of input would be the resources, the raw material, the energy or information that are required for a system to operate. Um, these are things the system takes from its environment in order to function. For example, in the coffee machine, um, we have water, coffee, electricity could be a definition of an input. Output. Output are the results or products. Like I was saying, the final product, it would be the output, the final result generated by system after processing the inputs. Without inputs, we don't have outputs. Like everything is connected. That's why that's why it's called a system. These are what the system delivers back to its environment. Okay? And the feedback, to understand, feedback is informational signal that the system uses to adjust its process and maintain in its desired state or performance. Feedback helps the system make corrections based on its outputs or changing conditions. With feedback, we can actually improve our system and know better system by making improvements or changing things or analyzing errors or something like that. Those concepts are very important to understand. So, okay. inputs of the coffee machine. Okay, like I was saying, we need inputs. We need raw material. We need the resources to actually achieve the output. And okay, first of all, we have water. Pour water into reservoir for brewing. Second one, coffee grounds or the coffee in, okay, just coffee grounds placed into the filter for extraction, and electricity powers the machine to heat water and activate the brewing process. As we say, it's very important to have those things in order and understand that that will be your input in the process of a coffee machine. Outputs of the coffee machine. The outputs would be the output is freshly brewed coffee. I was saying the output is the final product, is the result of the product generated by the system after processing the inputs. So we have the freshly coffee. Once the brewing process completes, the machine dispenses hot coffee into a cup or carafe. Okay, so this is very important because uh, the coffee is a final product that we actually achieve thanks of our inputs that will be the raw material. Okay. Feedback mechanism. The feedback is pretty important because without feedback, we can actually make changes, improve, and notice like any kind of error or any kind of mistake in our process. So it's pretty important, I think. The coffee machine uses a thermostat to monitor the water temperature. If the water is not hot enough, the heating element turns on to ensure the correct brewing temperature is reached. This is an example of cybernetics, the machine adjusting itself based of feedback. Okay. What is cybernetics? Cybernetics is about the control and regulation about any kind of system, and that's why we adjust. That's why I say that adjust itself based on feedback because cybernetics is about control and regulation. Systems are viewed as goal-oriented. They are governed by their purposes, and the parts operate according to guidelines and adapt to the environment and the basis feedback. This is what cybernetics talks about. This aspect of system function is cybernetics. It's like a control and regulation, and it's connected about feedback. About feedback. Okay. Okay. How coffee machine system works. Okay. We have inputs, water, coffee grounds, electricity, outputs, brew coffee, and feedback, thermostat, adjust water temperature to ensure optimal brewing. Okay. The coffee machine is a simple, effective example of an open system. It processes inputs to produce an output and uses feedback to adjust its operation, maintaining efficiency and product quality. The interplay of inputs and outputs and feedbacks ensures the system runs smoothly and achieves its goal of brewing coffee. That's why it's an open system because coffee machine depends on inputs from outside, like for example, water, coffee grounds, electricity, and all those things are connected for a mm, a goal, and the outputs would be the final product, brew coffee. Uh, for example, and also, okay, for example, you want a coffee, but any you don't have the raw materials. For example, you don't have the coffee grounds. that would be a problem because for your system to work perfectly, you might need you might need all the inputs, and for that, you need all the inputs for your final product because without your inputs, you don't have your outputs. You have to have everything. That's why we say that, for example, a holiness is a pretty basic system concept. That is like in a system, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. Yeah, every part is important. If you separate the ingredients, you might say, okay, but the most important thing is the coffee because I want to make coffee. So if I don't have water, it's okay. No, uh, in a system, I repeat, the whole is more. So, like, it's more important if you have like whole that the sum of these parts. And for example, uh, what I'm trying to say is that the parts cannot be understood separately. Um, yeah, that's it. The parts cannot be understood separately. So we that's why we need the inputs, the outputs, and the feedback. Okay. Um, I was saying that the coffee machine is a open system because interchange things for its environments and receives energy like it's an open system. In contrast, closing system don't interact with internal environment, which doesn't apply to the coffee machine. Therefore, the coffee machine is clearly an open system. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this presentation about a system to be more specifically about the coffee machine. Thank you guys for watching and see ya.